Hi friends, welcome to Mama Needs a Goal. Thanks for joining me today in my backyard series on getting ready for summer. Today I wanted to talk to you about starting a small vegetable garden. Every year I've been doing this. I just have a 4x4 and a 4x8 little vegetable garden here. It's a small raised bed, and I just kind of wanted to go over some of the things that I do to get it ready for the summer, so I have plenty of vegetables through the summer, and then going into the fall season, and then vegetables that I can freeze for the winter. So I wanted to go over a couple things, so let's get started. Okay, my friends, first we're going to talk about the placement of your vegetable garden. You want to walk around your property and find the area that gets the most sunlight. It's very, very important that you have as much sunlight during the day as possible. You don't want to put your garden in an area where there's a lot of shade, or your plants are not going to thrive. Once you find that area and it's okay to plant, then you want to make sure that it has proper drainage. And the only way really to know that the drainage is good is going around your property after a big storm where we get a lot of rain, and you can go and look and make sure there's not standing water. Because if there is standing water, you want to make sure you don't plant in that area, because the plants are not going to thrive again. So if that is the only area that gets the most sun and does not drain properly, then you can easily just build a raised vegetable garden. And that's kind of what I have here. It's very simple, very easy. I've had it for years. So you can get around with that, but just make sure that it has a lot of sun. So the next important thing is the layout of your garden. You want to make sure that your garden has enough space to walk around all the sides as possible, because it makes it a lot easier to grab the vegetables, to pick them, to weed the garden, and it just allows you to get around. It also allows the air to circulate. So what I want to do is show you the mistake that I made, and makes it a lot more difficult for me. Hopefully next year I'm going to redo this garden, but I just want to kind of show you what I did that makes it a lot harder. So if you look over here, you can see that I put the garden up against the side of the house. And I have two beds here that are up against the house, and they're both close together. And what I really should have done was bring it out from the house to give space to walk around the back side and to walk between the two gardens. It still works for me, but the ideal thing is to bring it out away and give yourself space between the two gardens. So the next step, after you determine where you want to do your layout, have it in the right position, we're going to talk about the supplies that you're going to need to create that vegetable garden. Okay, my friends, we're going to get started. What we're going to do is clear this out, turn the dirt over. We're going to add my soil to it that already has the organic feed in it. I did want to mention that when you are starting a garden, you want to make sure you till the dirt really well. What I'd like to do is put a layer of newspaper down, and that helps prevent the weeds from growing through it, and over time the newspaper will break down, and it also is great for your garden. So don't worry about it. And I do know one of the questions that comes up sometimes is about the newspaper that has the colored print in it, and most of that nowadays is soy based, so you don't have to worry about it. It will not hurt the garden. So we're going to get started and get this turned over. Alright, my friends, I am back and we are ready to get digging in the dirt. But first I want to introduce my wonderful nephew who's down here visiting for the weekend, Will, and he has volunteered to help do the hard labor for me. So first we're going to do, or first Will is going to do, is start digging this dirt up. So now you'll see Will using the pitchfork, and he's loosening up all that soil and trying to get to the roots of a lot of those weeds. There was quite a bit of weeds in that bed. Now you'll see me coming in with a small rake and trying to rake as much out as I can, but we ended up just pulling it by hand, there's quite a bit of weeds in there. And as you can see in front of the bed as well, there's a lot of grass and weeds in front of the bed. I did clean that area up as well because that would end up going into the bed. You want to make sure that you get as much as you can out as possible because you don't want your bed to have a lot of weeds in it once your vegetables start growing. So this is a very tedious job, but it is a step that you cannot skip. So please make sure you get all the weeds out if you are reusing a raised bed or an area that you've grown vegetables in before. As you can see, we're just about done and it's looking really... Okay, my friends, so now that we have the garden, as you can see, all the weeds are out of the bed. I am now going to go ahead and take my plant food and just sprinkle it on top of the turned over soil. Now remember, I only used topsoil. I did not use any kind of organic gardening soil. So I'm going to be very generous and sprinkle it all over the top. Now as you can see, Will's just taken the pitchfork and he's just loosening that soil a little bit more and working the plant food into the soil. Want to make sure we get it mixed in there nice and good. And I think he's doing a great job there. Okay, my friends, now we're going to lay down the paper. And again, like I said, just take newspaper that you get in the mail, or you get, the weekly paper if you're still getting that, and lay it down. And again, as I mentioned, the color paper is fine. Do try to avoid some of the glossy if you can, but if not, that's okay. So what I'm going to do is just do a nice thin layer down here. I'm just going to turn it upside down a little bit to help. And I'll do like 2 sheets and lay that out like that. And then I'm going to spread that out like that. And this will help with the weeds growing up through. And then after I finish laying this out, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more topsoil and then get ready and lay my plants out to plant. Okay, my friends, as you can see right now, if you look down, you'll see that I have my garden soil, the paper down, the garden soil on top, and everything's ready. I have my plants placed where I need them to be, or where I want to put them. In the back, far back, I have cucumbers, which is going to climb up on an obelisk, which I'll show you in a minute. Then I have a cucumber bush. This is a new plant for me, so I'm kind of curious to see how that works. And then I have 3 bell peppers. The one bell pepper isn't doing so well, so I thought I'm going to put him off there on the side and see how well he is, how well he'll do. So again, like I mentioned, the obelisk, if you look here, you'll see that this is something my husband built for me many years ago. And what I like to do is put this over my cucumber plant and allow the cucumber plant to grow into the center and attach, and I'll wrap it around here and tie it up. And this is very sturdy. Cucumbers get very heavy, so this will be great for the cucumbers to climb up. Alright, my friends, I got my plants planted and I got my obelisk put over top of my cucumber vine. So here's what I have right now. Now I still need to do the mulch, which is something that you don't have to do. I just like to do it. It adds a layer of protection. It keeps the weeds down again, and it also helps keep the moisture in a lot longer. And when the mulch breaks down, it just adds more fertilizer to the soil. But you don't have to do it, but I prefer to do that. So I still have one other bed to do, and what I'm going to do is work on that. I actually ran out of soil, so I need to make a trip to the store to get a little bit more soil. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to finish the garden today, so I'll probably work on it again tomorrow. So once everything is done, I will give you a quick look at how everything turned out. So it's now the next day, and my vegetable garden is finally completed, and I can't wait to show you what it looks like. I hope you all found this video informative and a little helpful in planning your own vegetable garden. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Again, thanks for joining me. Mama Needs a Goal. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone.